Hey, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Grab a seat. Come on, there's plenty of room down front here. Come on in. I put some drinks along the back wall there if you want to grab one off of the table back there and then find a seat. How is everybody doing today? Welcome once again to the weekly garden party here on Escaping the Suburbs. As always, I'm Scott. I'm your host, 100% AI free. And I see we've got a few folks already in, at least 3. Remember, if you don't type anything in the comments, I don't know who you are and I don't know who's here. So let me know who you are and who you're here. I see my dad is here, everybody, the Texas Gypsy. Hello, garden partiers. Looking forward to seeing everyone. Absolutely. So you like that new beginning, the longer countdown? Well, the countdown's still 2 minutes. It's still a 2-minute countdown there. When I start up the live stream, it went 2 minutes with my little 2-minute countdown there. And the little small videos, so if you missed the beginning, it looked like this. I won't play the music, but it looked like this, and this is my 2-minute countdowner. And I've got a little clip playing from many, many of my videos there. So that's what Dad's talking about. Yeah. Hey, Lori, glad you made it. Very good to see you. Awesome to see you as well. Welcome. And I see CL is here, our friend from the Panhandle. Hello, ma'am. And look at this, everybody. We have a really cool special guest. Rob the Maritimer is here. Now, Rob, I want you to notice I took special lesson from you on my checklist. Live stream pre-checklist right here. It says mic not muted. So I think it's great that you dropped in tonight because I definitely made myself a note to learn from your mistake. Poor Rob with his 5 minutes of speaking muted and everybody screaming in the comments, Rob, you're muted. Rob, you're muted. That was a day that's going to go down in history forever. Hey, right off the bat, everybody, and Rob, I'm so glad you're here because if you look in the chat, you'll see essentially it's all your children are here. We got Lori, we got CL, Daniel drops in all the time, Granny's here all the time. It's all these people who we have met through your channel and become friends through your channel. So you are really you're the web on YouTube that has tied all these small creators of a certain age together. And now if you could just convince my dad that he should start a YouTube channel, we'd really be in good shape. If you didn't know, Rob, this is my dad right here, the Texas Gypsy. And Granny, I missed your comment. I didn't see you were here. Just stopping by for a quick hello. Got to get the grandbaby to bed. That's the way to go. Oh, it was 12 minutes of mute. Well, I was trying to give you the low end benefit of the doubt, but 12 minutes of muted speaking, that's okay. That's why you can chop off the beginning of that recording in the post go live edit. Hey, right off the bat, something I noticed when I was watching some videos recently of my favorite channels is a lot of them seem to have an opening catchphrase greeting. And I don't really have anything. As you know, when I sign off, I say, don't do anything I wouldn't do. But I don't have a opening catchphrase greeting phrase, and kind of violates the principle of having a strong hook when you start a video by just saying. And I think I'll still continue to start my main long form videos with a good hook that draws somebody in with a level of curiosity, but I need a sign on greeting comment. So I'm asking for your help. I think I might run a contest. I might make a little Google form or something where people can submit ideas. And if anybody wins, I think for a prize, I'm going to send you a magnet and a sticker from Escaping the Suburbs. Now, it's not that particularly special because if anybody wants a magnet or a sticker, I would send them to you. If you send an email to escapingthesuburbs@gmail.com and let me know where to send one, I will send you a magnet and a sticker easily. But if you folks can help me think of a opening greeting, I'll give you some examples. When I watch the Grim Reaper's video gaming channel, he always starts his videos with, hello, valued viewers. I hope you're all doing wonderfully well. And when I watch Victory Outdoor Services, the Concrete channel, he always starts with, good morning. And it's Friday, which is my favorite. And, you know, you've all got video channels that have been around for a long time who have kind of like a signature sign-on line. So If you can help me think of something cool, that would be awesome. Yeah, it's fun to see everybody growing their channels, and you are absolutely you're the facilitator, the grandpop. That is true, Lori. We're all gonna make it, right? That's my saying. We're all gonna make it, and you got this. Um, for those of you who are on the chat right now, Rob, who may not have had a chance to actually watch my channel, the point of the channel is uplifting, encouraging, and optimistic videos, typically shot in nature, encouraging people to get out into nature and escape and break free of some of the chaos and confusion that comes from living inside of tightly packed suburbs or cities. And Rob, we've seen where you lived, and we know you don't qualify for that. So you're already loving life out there in the Maritimes on, what is it, St. Margaret's Bay? It looks gorgeous. I don't think you need to escape the suburbs. But yeah, my uplifting, optimistic, and outgoing. In fact, I almost used the word optimistic in my channel title because I'm trying to spread the idea that you can choose to be optimistic and you can choose to chase negative thoughts out of your mind and be an optimistic person. But I didn't want to be confused with the Optimist Club, which is like an international organization called the Optimist Club, which I don't even know what they're about. I think it's just a do-gooder type thing, something like that. So, yeah, CL, you don't have a signature line either, in or out. But you don't have to have one. Nobody needs to have one. I don't think Rob has one. And Rob's channel is kicking all of our butts. So he doesn't. I don't think he has a sign on. It's just the only thing I can think of is after a while he says, "If you're new here, I'm Rob," right? Which is great. Hey, speaking of Rob, I'm going to jump ahead in my notes of things I want to talk about since he's here. I want to talk about my results of taking Rob's shocking advice. Rob had a video a week ago, and we were all just shaken to our core by the idea that if you make your videos unlisted and then make them public, you shot yourself in the foot because YouTube has already considered that video's clock to be running, and it somehow calculates that your video's been semi-public and hasn't got a lot of views, and maybe it shouldn't show it to a lot of people. And the right thing to do, apparently, is to make the video either private and then live, or scheduled, because scheduled is treated like it's private until it's live. And I tried that, and wouldn't you know, that video was a 1 out of 10. And for those of you who don't know what 1 out of 10 is, which might only, on this chat, only be my dad, but a 1 out of 10 is when YouTube tells you that your recent video is the #1 most popular video out of your 10 most recent videos. And that's impressive because it was actually beating out some shorts. So yeah, a noticeable difference. Now, a sample size of one video is nothing to prove anything. It doesn't prove a darn thing, but it is encouraging. I had some videos that had previously been uploaded to YouTube and were sort of just waiting to be released, and they had kind of gone through private and unlisted and scheduled and back to unlisted, and who knows what they had been. I just deleted them all. They weren't public. They never were public yet, but I deleted them, and I re-uploaded them fresh with slightly modified titles and slightly tweaked descriptions so YouTube would hopefully think that's a new video. And those will come out over the next 3 to 4 weeks probably. So I think I've got 4 of them ready to go. So wow, Rob, your advice, shocking as it was and as skeptical as I was, admittedly, I 100% think you're right on that. That is pretty cool. So, hey, let's talk for a second about how that impacts what I'm doing for my paid beloved members. It's $1 a month to be a member. And what I had been doing is giving you early access to my videos. And that's kind of tied up in what Rob's discovery is. And we none of us know exactly how YouTube handles things, and none of us knows exactly what YouTube considers a members only video that then turns public. But I suspect it's treating it kind of like an unlisted video, because an unlisted video, you can send somebody the link and they can watch it. It's just not discoverable. And that's what a members only video is. It's visible to the members, but not to the general population. But it's kind of public, but if only 2 or 3 people watch it, and then a week later I make it, let's just suffice it to say that when I had been doing that, I had been getting like 20 views on videos. So I'm not doing that anymore. And what I'm going to do for my members, my beloved members, is I'm going to be, as I'm filming my videos from now on, and I started doing this past Saturday, I'm creating a behind the scenes video as well. So while I'm filming with this camera that I'm talking to right now, my lovely DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Oh, where did I put it? I was going to show it to you, but I don't know where I put it. It's over here somewhere. I have been also setting up my older DJI Action 3 as a second camera, and I talk to that in between takes and in between cuts, and as I relocate myself from one scene to another, and as I start to set up the cameras, I'm talking behind the scenes to that camera, and I'm telling it what I'm doing and what my plans are. So after I fully edited the main video, the public video, I then went back and I edited a behind the scenes video for you. In fact, let me just real quick show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's take a peek. If we can, close this silly thing. Let's go into Studio and I will show you my content, upcoming content. And as you can see, there's the public videos down below and some private ones at the bottom that'll be coming public soon enough. And up here is a video that will be coming public this coming Friday. It's called Haters Don't Hate You. You're just easy prey. But look right above that. Behind the scenes, haters don't hate you. You're just easy prey. So I have a behind the scenes video, which is 16 minutes long, talking to my beloved members only about the making of this 5-minute and 57-second video. So that's exciting. That's pretty cool. And I think that those of you who have forked over $1, not that I need the money, but what's $1? But it's kind of fun to be able to play with the members and to talk to you and give you guys members only posts and now members only videos of behind the scenes. So watch for that on Friday. It'll come out probably like a half hour or something after the main video. Let the main video roll out a little bit and get some steam, build up a head of steam there. As for Rob, I've heard you say this so many times. It's good to test things, right? So using my own channel as a guinea pig to test out the public versus private versus unlisted. I'm curious to see after the 4 or 5 videos that I've made now get a chance to get published, if we start to see consistently, because I saw like triple the views or something on that one video. We'll see. You're right to be skeptical. Don't take anyone's advice as gospel, mine included. Well, okay, you're not gospel, but we'll say that you're a pretty good commentary on the gospel. I'll put it that way. So that's where we are with the membership. You know, when I looked at what perks I had listed for the members, the $1 members had really never been advertised to promise that you'd get early access to videos. I was just doing that for y'all anyway. So it's not like I pulled anything away from somebody. The $5 a month deal was listed as early access to videos. I had just been making them available to all the members, so I eliminated that $5 level, and now there's only a $1 level, and it's so much easier to remember. It's so much more affordable. You pay $1 a month, you get a behind-the-scenes video, and you get some other perks too. And if you want a sticker or a magnet, send me an email, escapingthesuburbs@gmail.com, and I'll get that to you too. Hey, another thing that I've started doing with this most recent video, and we talked about it last Wednesday night, is to add a story element to my videos. So I'm still continuing the same niche or the same direction. The channel still continues to be demonstrating how easy it is to get out into nature and find some fairly easy to walk trails for people of a certain age and get out of the chaos and hubbub of the city and enjoy the green spaces. But I thought, to make the video a little bit more interesting, I'm going to interweave a little story or plot, almost like a MacGuffin, right, to the video. And so for this week's video, as I'm talking about my topic, which my topic is, sometimes people appear to be angry or frustrated with you, but they're not. They're actually angry or frustrated with somebody else, and they're just taking it out on you. And I talk about that, but instead of just wandering around aimlessly in nature and talking about it, I am on a mission to locate the ancient and extinct source of the Cypress Creek River, which was the original drainage river for the Everglades where I live, and it drained the Everglades out into eastern Broward County. The area is now known as Hillsborough Beach and Pompano Beach. For a while, that river was called, of all things, the Potomac River, named after the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. Hello, Suzuki. Do you want to come up here? Oh, Suzuki says hi. But after a while, it was no longer named the Potomac River, and it got named the Cypress Creek River, and then just Cypress Creek. And eventually, it was dredged into a straight canal called the Hillsborough Canal. And you can see the Hillsborough Canal in Hillsborough, Florida, here on Hillsborough Boulevard, etc. And a lot of it's like underground sewers, culverts, drainage canals. It's not a creek or river or stream, but the spring that flows up out of the grounds still exists. And I wanted to go find it and see it. So that's the plot line. As I'm making my way from one location to another in this video, as you'll see on Friday, and making my encouraging and optimistic and uplifting points on topic to this topic of this particular video, I'm also searching for the source of this ancient and extinct river. So it kind of adds a little piece of interest and a little bit of story. So I'm going to try going forward to do my videos with a built-in little story or plot to maybe add a little bit of curiosity and interest to this story. So that's what we're going to do. Well, hello, Tyler. How are you doing? I'm so glad you're here. How is the log cabin coming? I haven't watched a video from you this week, I don't think. I don't think I've seen a new video. If you've got a new video out, I have not seen it. But I will have to, maybe I'll have to just go back and check and make sure I didn't. Sometimes YouTube doesn't show you videos. And Tyler saying hi to everybody. I like that one, Lori. Aces. OT. Yeah, the storytelling idea. So that's something I'm going to try out. I think that it's going to make the just walking and talking and uplifting, optimistic encouragement have a little bit of a side story along with it as well. And it's probably going to make it more fun for me, too. Hey, how would you like some trail news? We are going to continue our new segment that we started a couple weeks ago. And I'm going to share with you some news that I have gathered, some of them with your help, on our local trails and around the country and around the continent, really, because some of it sometimes is Canadian trails. And as always, I will also cut this section out as its own standalone video to be part of our trail news segment. So let's kick off trail news. Welcome to Trail News for the week of November 19th, 2025, from Escaping the Suburbs, your outdoor enjoyment and optimism authority. So to kick it off, Lori from Lori's Soul Circle on YouTube pointed out that Monday, 2 days ago, November 17th, was National Take a Hike Day. And to celebrate, Lori told me, hey, take a hike. No, just kidding. She didn't really. What she did is she sent this article. With over 60,000 miles of trails in the national trail system across the 50 states, there's no lack of opportunity to take a hike. Some of those trails are hundreds of years old. For example, the oldest continuously used trail in the United States is Crawford Path in New Hampshire. The beginnings of the mountain path were cleared to the summit of Mount Washington in 1819. Have you ever been to the top of Mount Washington? My friend Doug has a sticker on his motorcycle that says, "This motorcycle climbed Mount Washington," because it did. There's a road that goes to the top of Mount Washington. And when you get to the top, there's a, what do you call those cog railways? There's a cog railway. You can ride a train up the mountain. But little did I know that the trail, the hiking trail at the bottom of it, is the oldest continuously used trail in the United States. That's news to me. Other trails allow us to follow in the footsteps of Lewis and Clark or explore even more ancient history, like Effigy Mounds National Monument. So that was Monday. I'm sure we can all take a retroactive walk that applies to National Take a Hike Day, and then let's just add it to our calendars for next year. So thank you, Lori, for pointing that out. And thank you to CL Fantasy Waves, who probably is listening to us in the background as she cooks dinner or something, as usual. She told us that Fort Pickens reopens after weeks of being closed due to, drumroll, the government shutdown. This comes from Aria Circa, writing for WEAR TV in Pensacola. After weeks of the gates being locked and campsites empty due to the government shutdown, Fort Pickens is open again. Throughout the lapse in appropriations, the administration kept America's national parks safe, clean, and open wherever possible. Thanks to strong leadership and a well-executed contingency plan, the National Park Service maintained essential services, minimized disruptions, and prevented resource damage. Now, as operations resume, parks across the country are welcoming visitors back in full. National Park Service employees and partners are working quickly to restore normal services and ensure visitors can continue to enjoy these treasured places. The administration is proud of the dedication, accountability, and efficiency shown by the National Park Service workforce, demonstrating once again that with clear direction and smart planning, America's parks remain open, protected, and ready for all to enjoy. It's good timing because the Blue Angels Homecoming Air Show right about this time in Pensacola, so it's good knowing that that's back open. Not all of the national parks were open during that time, and not all of the parts of the parks were open. There is a really neat YouTube channel I watch, and the gentleman's name is just Adam. That's the name of his channel, Adam. And he enjoys taking things like Amtrak trains to a national park to go camping. And he tried camping in Death Valley during the shutdown, and a lot of the roads were closed, so he was not able to do so. He was able to camp, but he wasn't able to camp all over the place. So I do not recall that. My dad says that you and our family frequently camped out at Fort Pickens back in the 70s in Pensacola area where we lived at that time. That's cool. Scott, look above at Lori's suggestion for an intro. She says, signature saying, if your mind feels louder than your life right now, come walk with me for a minute. I like it. I do need something that I can use whether I'm outdoors or whether I'm sitting here next to Suzuki live streaming. So I want something I can say anywhere. But that's a good one for sure. Hey, the National Park Service is going to consider widening the Mount Vernon Trail and adding better access to the Potomac River near the site of an old coal-fired power plant in Alexandria, Virginia. The National Park Service invites you to help shape a plan for safety, trail, and waterfront improvements near the Old Town North neighborhood. Your input will guide future upgrades along George Washington Memorial Parkway, the Mount Vernon Trail, and the Potomac waterfront in connection with a proposed 18-acre mixed-use redevelopment district on the site of the former coal-fired power plant. That's pretty cool. Here's what's proposed. They're going to add new trail connections to the Mount Vernon Trail and Potomac River access, replace the aging cantilevered trail bridge, and widen portions of the transportation and safety, and widen portions of the trail. They're going to create river overlooks and a new recreational access to the Potomac River. This is one of the busiest sections of the George Washington Memorial Parkway and Mount Vernon Trail, and with your feedback, improvements will make it safer, more accessible, and more enjoyable for everyone. So if you live in the Alexandria area, be sure you attend those meetings in order to make your voice heard. This one's neat. Wisconsin buys land that's key to the completion of its segment of the North Country National Scenic Trail. Have you ever heard of the North Country National Scenic Trail? I had not. This is from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Wisconsin is one step closer to being the first of 8 states to finish its portion of the North Country National Scenic Trail, the country's longest national scenic trail. A recent 317-acre land purchase will move 30 miles of the trail off of roadways and into forests. This trail stretches 4,800 miles from North Dakota to Vermont. Can you imagine hiking that? This is like 2.5 Appalachian trails. Where was I? Roughly 1,500 miles of the trail has yet to be built. About 210 miles of the trail runs through Wisconsin, with more than 140 miles already ready to hike. The National Park Service purchased the 317 acres of land for $715,000 from the National Nonprofit Trust for Public Land. And with this purchase, the National Park Service will be able to move more than 30 miles of trail that currently runs along roadways into forested areas. The purchase protects 63 acres of wetlands and about 1 mile of the Black River. So that's really cool. I had not heard of the the North Country National Scenic Trail. 4,800 miles of hiking trails from North Dakota to Vermont. But congratulations, Wisconsin, you're about to become the first state to complete its entire segment. Last but not least, and finally, in Spartanburg County, South Carolina, we get this from the Spartanburg Post and Courier. A new 2.1 mile trail in Spartanburg County is the latest option for hikers to enjoy Lake Blaylock's surrounding natural habitat. That's hard to say, Lake Blaylock. Spartanburg Water, which is who is managing the trail, dedicated this new trail on November 14th, so 5 days ago. The path winds through the park, offering panoramic views of the 1,100-acre lake that anchors Lake Blaylock Park, and it's located on Sandy Ford Road. The park includes a boat ramp, picnic shelter, picnic tables, and fishing piers. There's benches along the trail marked with yellow paint on trees so hikers won't get lost. Spoiler alert, they will still get lost. There's several connectors along the trail allowing hikers to switch their routes, and a large section of the trail follows the lake. Other recently completed trails in Spartanburg include the Beaumont Mill Village Pathway, River Birch Trail, Wildflower Way, and the Subaru Bike Park. So way to go, South Carolina. You're killing it. And actually, way to go, Spartanburg. All of that's in Spartanburg, South Carolina, which I have no idea where it is. But it's in South Carolina. So that is your trail news for the week of November 19th, 2025. If you have any news from your area, please email it to me at escapingthesuburbs@gmail.com, and I will try to include it in a future episode of Trail News. All right. What do you say? You know, we're getting through tonight's live stream. Time is just flying right by. It's already a half hour into it. I can't believe it. You guys think we should... where's Geraldine? We've got no Geraldine tonight. I was just thinking it's about time to do a nature reading. Lori, super cool that you, what's the right word? Adopted the idea of doing a reading from a book in your live stream. I really enjoyed the heck out of your live stream on Sunday night, right? Yes, Sunday night, me and Mrs. Escaping the Suburbs watched it together. We really enjoyed it. Thought you did a great job. You're getting so natural and relaxed on camera. And let me know in the comments, how did you like using Ecamm? That was your first live stream using Ecamm Live instead of just trying to stream straight from YouTube Studio. And I saw you ask Rob during his stream, how do you add comments so that we can do things like this? Tyler, it's been going. Got to get bigger timber. The back wall is almost done. Yeah, some of those branches you're building your cabin with are basically just sticks. You know, you got to find some logs, buddy. You got to get some logs. And you're just, oh, that's right. Now I remember why I haven't seen a video, because you said that. You said, while you're building it, I'm just going to do shorts and then later edit the whole thing into a long video. That makes sense. That's a good idea. So, yeah, Lori, I'm glad you did the live stream. And speaking of you folks doing your streams, I just watched Daniel's live stream. Some of you were on Daniel's live stream at DG Outdoors channel hour and a half ago. And he's another one who's getting really relaxed and easygoing. And he did some storytelling tonight. He told some hunting stories, some deer hunting and squirrel hunting stories. And despite our attempts to get him off track and talking about cooking squirrels, he continued to tell his stories about hunting, etc. So that was great. And look at that. My dad, the Texas Gypsy, also enjoyed your live stream. So she was watching, or he was watching too. Yeah, you were great. We just didn't get to see your beautiful fireplace behind you. That's the only downside. But I liked the location. It seemed very peaceful and calm where you were filming from. So that was really neat. Ecamm was great. I just want to learn how to cue up a background. Yeah, it's not hard. I know a really good class you can take on live streaming from a certain guy. I can't remember. Are you signed up for his class already? Rob's got that entire how to live stream training regimen, which is great. But you can also, of course, just look up YouTube videos. That's how I've learned how to use Ecamm. And I'm very comfortable in the software now just by watching a lot of videos. Daniel Cheese videos are fantastic. And the Ecamm company itself has their own YouTube channel in which they teach how to use Ecamm Live, which is great. So I think it's a great piece of software. What do you say? I have an idea. What do you say we do a nature reading? Lori did her reading the other day, and I think we should do a reading as well. And what good would be doing a nature reading if we weren't going to finally hit the granddaddy of all nature books, Walden, by Henry David Thoreau? It's hard to believe this was written in 1854. What is that, 175 years ago? That's crazy. But this is considered one of the greatest nature-loving as well as outdoors and self-reliance type books of all time. And if you haven't read Walden, you gotta read Walden. I highly recommend you read Walden sometime. So let's take a peek at a section I picked out for us. Now I need to take a drink. Excuse me. What are y'all drinking tonight? What does everybody have? Take a look to your side. Look at what you got next to you. And let me know in the comments. And I bet you can guess what I have because it's always the same. And I have a new sticker from Fern Forest Nature Center. If you guessed that it's sweet tea, you are correct. Walden by Henry David Thoreau. Or as it was also called, Life in the Woods. It's an 1854 book by the American writer Henry David Thoreau. The text is a reflection upon the author's simple living in natural surroundings. The work is part personal declaration of independence, social experiment, voyage of spiritual discovery, satire, and to some degree, it's a manual for self-reliance. Walden details Thoreau's experiences over the course of 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days in a cabin he built near Walden Pond, amidst some woodland that was owned by his friend and mentor, Ralph Waldo Emerson, near Concord, Massachusetts. So, the section I want to read from, it's not long, won't take us a lot of time, is from a chapter called The Pond in Winter. The pond had suddenly become a great crystal on the surface of the earth. Looking into it, one could see the very skeleton of the globe. It was as if I had been let down in a basket like St. Paul through a skylight into a corner of the cosmos. A field of water betrays the spirit that is in the air. It is continually receiving new life and motion from above. It is intermediate in its nature between land and sky. On land, we only see the shadows of the clouds. Here we see the clouds themselves, and sometimes the blue sky reflected. Walden is blue at one time and green at another, even from the same point of view. Lying between the earth and the heavens, it partakes of the color of both. It is a mirror which no stone can crack, whose quicksilver will never wear off, a mirror which keeps nothing but gives back the sun and the sky with interest. The full section is one of the most, not talking about here, this is me writing, the full section that I took this from. It's one of the most sustained peaks of nature writing in all of American literature. Thoreau doesn't just describe the pond here, he turns it into a lens through which we glimpse the structure of the universe itself. So look at what he's describing. This pond becomes a crystal, meaning a glass or a lens. And looking into it, you can see the skeleton of the globe. So it's interesting that he's talking about the surface of the pond. And in the part right before this, by the way, he describes shoveling out the snow that was on top and then carving out a chunk of the ice and setting it aside and looking down into the water from on the frozen pond itself. And it becomes both a mirror and a lens through which he can look and see the inside of the earth, but a mirror through which he can see the heavens above, right? It's blue at one time and green at another, so that he's evoking right in our mind the sky and the trees and the landscape around him. Just by saying blue and green, we know what that means, don't we? It lies between the earth and the heavens, and it partakes of the color of both. It's a mirror which no stone can crack, whose quicksilver will never wear off. The mirror, the mirror keeps nothing. No mirror really keeps anything. It reflects everything back, but it gives back the sun and the sky with interest. And I think of it meaning like it's paying interest, like we invested into the mirror and it's returning interest to us by showing us more than what we put into it. Well, it's a beautiful book. That's a beautiful chapter. And this is my favorite standout part. Here is a picture of Walden Pond today. And it's nice that it's been preserved so that anybody who wants to go up to Connecticut can get out on the pond in a canoe or walk out onto it in the winter or have a little seat next to it and enjoy. So that's Walden Pond. Thank you very much to all of you for indulging me in a nature reading, which is one of my favorite parts of our live streams every week, because it forces me to think back and try to come up off the top of my mind with a memory of some nature-oriented piece of literature or stories and books, and if it's stuck in my mind. If it's stuck in my mind when I read it, no matter how many years ago, and it still sits there as something that I can pull up as a memory, then I can go find it, locate it, and then share it with you. And hopefully, in some ways, even try to communicate to you why it's stuck with me and why that particular segment, like the section of Athelion that we read last week from the Two Towers, why it stays with me, right? So, yeah. Walden Pond is in Massachusetts, you say. Interesting. I wonder why the internet told me it is. Well, it wasn't the internet that said that. It was yeah, I guess it was. Says, yeah, that's what I said. I said Concord, Massachusetts. That's what I said. She says Walden Pond is in Massachusetts, and I'm looking back. That is what I said. It's near Concord, Massachusetts. We could go find it. Hey, that would be fun. Why don't we do that? Let's jump back into our friend, the Googles, and hop into the map. Let's go find it. Come on, y'all. Come on, Google. What's wrong with the map? Why isn't the map loading? Come on, Google. There we go. Let's go find Concord. Now, you know me. I don't like to search. With the search field, I prefer to scan. Concord is going to be near Lexington, which is to the northwest. By the rude bridge that arched the flood, there the embattled soldiers stood, or something like that. So Walden Pond is near that, eh? We got to find it. Is this it? No. Let's turn on the labels. We need the labels. Houses coming across in the stream. Let me look back in Ecamm. Yeah, that could be wider for your sake, right? Let's try to make this a better aspect ratio for Ecamm. There we go. This is a dynamic screen share, everybody. Great Meadows National Yeah, we're not going to find it by looking around, I can tell you that. But what we can do is at this point, I'll go ahead and give up and search. Walden Pond. Oh, it's to the south. Here we are. Okay. So that area that I had just looked at, the North Bridge up here, that's where the shot heard round the world was fired. And here's Walden Pond. Let's take our little Google Street Man here and just plop him down at some random spot. Check out this dude pretending he's Henry David. Did I lose you folks? Did we get knocked off? I just got that same comment we had before. I'm going to stop sharing this because that perhaps is causing the problem. So let's see. 2 weeks ago, I had been streaming and I got the message that streaming stopped. Would you like to resume? And of course, I clicked resume as I did just now. That just dropped up, and it's kind of a nice feature of Ecamm that if you get knocked off of your live stream, it'll give you a chance to resume the stream and rejoin your stream. So looks like I'm reconnected. I'm hoping that I'm reconnected to you folks. So drop a comment. Let me know you're still here. Let me know that everybody's still around. And also while we're at it, let's just get caught up on the comments because some of you folks said some things that I missed. Let's see. What did I miss? Here's my dad's comment about Fort Pickens. There's Lori saying we inspired her with the book reading. Yep, cue up the background. My dad says, I love Thoreau. CL weighed in that she's with the diet ginger ale. And if any of the rest of you told me what you were drinking along the way, I apologize for missing. Looks like my dad says I drink 7-Up because I went off of cola to cut back in my caffeine intake. Got it. Lori loves ginger ale. I love all things ginger, including ginger ice cream. I didn't know that was a thing. That's cool. There we go. I did not know you were in Massachusetts. I thought you were in Florida. And she says her daughter's in Florida. Gotcha. Cool. And so she's saying yes to me saying it's in Massachusetts. So that's good. We got sidetracked on where it was. There was some confusion there going on. So I'm glad we got that worked out. Hopefully everybody's still here and listening. So there you go. Dad loves Key West. I'm not sure what that had to do with things, but there you go. Hey, it is 1:15 and we got through everything on tonight's planned show notes. So let's just real quick recap. I think I'm going to start up a little contest. I'll have a Google form where people can go in and suggest opening phrases and statements and sign-on phrases. But good, you are here. I'm very, very glad to hear proof of life here. Ecamm tells me at the top how many people are watching, and I can see that we've got 5 thumbs up. So I believe we are still connected, which is great. I may not end up using any of the submissions, and that's fine. But maybe it'll help stir my mind and get some ideas too. Of course, I could also ask our friend Chat GPT or other AI for help coming up with something interesting, and maybe that'll just sort of jog my mind just a little bit too. So hey, that's all I had for tonight. We have done everything I wanted to get through, and I don't want to keep you guys around needlessly. I want everybody to be able to go enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. So I'm going to call it a night and call this a successful live stream. Daniel never got back to visit with us, did he? He said he was going to run out and get a bite to eat after his live stream. So I guess he never made it back. But guess who was on his live stream was Monica from Wanderer? She's the... Oh my goodness, my brain just went completely blank. She is the... I've got it bookmarked. She's the Quiet Nomad. That's it. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Yeah, so... so it was great to see Monica drop in on Daniel's because she's been out of it with her health bogging her down, and they had that storm come through and cause all that damage. And I know she's rethinking her channel and what she wants to do, if anything, right now on YouTube. It's going to have to be something with a little bit less going outdoors. She's an excellent painter, and she's thinking about that. But Monica, if you happen to see this, we're all thinking of you. We're all praying for you. But I'm glad you're able to get on Daniel's live stream, which was earlier in the evening and not quite so late there. So that's cool. Did I see that Lori is just 25 minutes from Walden Pond? Yes, I did. May I interrupt? Yes, you may. And then this is in reference to Monica doing better, hopefully. So, yes, exactly. And yes, Dad here wants everybody to know his name is Sonny. I guess he doesn't like being called Scott's dad. So, yeah, he's Sonny. And it'd be nice to have seen HW, who joined us. If you guys remember, Slow joined us last time. So, yeah, exactly, CL. It was too late. If you think about it, the time right now, it's already coming up on 2 a.m. right now. And so a little bit more reasonable. It's probably about midnight when Daniel was live. And it's just too late because she's got to work and everything else now. So we miss her. And we hope that she's able to figure out something to do on YouTube so we can continue to enjoy her sweet personality. So we're pulling for you. So, hey, I tried signing off earlier and then I got myself sidetracked and didn't sign off. So I'm going to sign off, give you the rest of your evening back. Thank you very much for joining me as always. And I always look forward to hanging out with you folks, reading your chats and reading your talks. And I guess I will see you in the next live stream a week from now. Don't forget, this coming Friday, we will have that video where I search for the ancient and extinct source of the Cypress Creek River. And there's no more Cypress Creek River anymore. Here, all we have is a town called Cypress Creek, Florida, and Cypress Creek High School. But it's been fun. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you next week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.